Gate 14 podcast, and I don't know what else there is to say, man. Just when you think it couldn't get any worse, it gets worse. We're going to try to keep the vibes up for everyone, obviously, on this podcast, but I just feel like a relative died. I just feel like a relative died. Avery, how are you feeling, man?
I would say more like dog died, like someone closer in your family that you're around more. Dude, that sucked.
That like, and I made a TikTok about this, and maybe we could talk about this. Is I don't know if I've ever rooted for like a baseball, like a Blue Jays team that I've just haven't really had like a long stretch of enjoying watching them play baseball. Like I mentioned it to you tonight on the stream. It's like I don't like I just don't enjoy watching this team play. It's a boring brand of baseball, which is something that we're not used to. We're used to these teams that hit a million home runs and just score a shit ton of runs with not the greatest pitching, but it just I don't enjoy watching this team right now. I'm speaking facts, obviously. It's tough to watch, man. It really is.
Yeah, you definitely aren't wrong about that. It's a weird, different style of Blue Jays baseball that we've seen past couple of years. I don't know where I'm at right now. I'm just fucking like I'm just sad. There's no other way to put it. Like a split. We were happy with splitting this series, and boy, did we not split.
We didn't even come close to splitting. We didn't even come close. But the thing is, Avery, we have every right to be mad and angry and stuff about this, man. We cover this team like this is our fucking lives, dude.
Oh,
Like
this is catastrophic week.
like terrible week. Like this is you and we dedicate our lives to this fucking team, man. We sweat every single pitch, day in, day out. We evaluate, we watch everything, we do the streams, we do 2 podcasts a week. We stay up late to do this stuff, and it's just the team we cover. And I'm not boo-hoo, feel bad for me. We get paid for it. Just the team we cover is just they're just flat. Like the Step Brothers quote, "You're flat back there. You're flat."
Yeah.
I don't know what it's bad. It's terrible.
Yeah, you're like you're just right, man. You're gonna have times like this though, like we don't get to pick and choose every year what team you root for. We root for the Toronto Blue Jays every year.
Yeah,
So
that's a good way to put it. It's just
you're going to have to go through the ups and downs. This year shouldn't have been and is kind of not a down year because of where we are in the playoff race and kind of what the record is. This wasn't the team I thought would end up like this. But again, in 21, I don't think that was a team that we thought would end up like that with that offense. So,
but it's a little bit different though. I don't think the 2021 team had aspirations of this like World Series-esque type of team. Like I don't think that was the talks around the 2021 team. I really don't. This year and last year, you have the tons of the talks like the movie, the whatever, all that stuff that we get old takes exposed on. And then this year you have Brandon Belt saying we have the team to win a World Series. And then the Kevin Kiermaier quote on Sunday. Holy shit. It's just like
we knew that quote would come and bite us in the ass. I didn't think it would happen 4 days later.
It's a good point. When he said that, and that's what I know. It's just all these Blue Jays, like the Twitter accounts, like these Blue Jays Twitter accounts were like, oh no, here we go again. And that's just what Toronto sports is. It's getting old takes exposed on dumb comments, and it's just he messiered. He fucked up. It was a bad and dumb quote, but I'm not going to use this whole jinx type of stuff. Obviously, I believe in it to a certain extent, but not like I'm not like that ruined the entire series. Just it's depressing. Like it's I'm not even really. I don't know other than tomorrow on Jock Night with the boys. I don't know if I want to go to another game again. Like it's just what you're going to get when you go to a game. It's going to be no run production, and it's going to be just like a 4-3, 3-2 game if your pitching staff can hold it up. Like that's all you're going to get.
Yeah, and you get the Rays and the Yankees. Like no one exciting coming into town. You get the beat up pedophile Rays and the fucking shit bum Yankees. So I'm with you there. Like I know we have to stream and do all that stuff, but there's not sometimes we'll look at games and we'll talk to each other, we'll text each other. It's like, yeah, like we have to go to one of those. And so we'll have our ticket guy reach out. Is like, okay, Do you guys want any games the rest of September?
Yeah, they reached out to me, and I'm like, honestly, man, I don't think I do, bro.
Yeah.
I don't think I do, and I appreciate all the people doing that and all that type of stuff. It's just, I don't know, like, and the sad thing is
we have to get there because they're in the hunt. So don't totally abandon this team as a fan base. But right now,
it's tough. It's a really, really tough time to be a fan right now. And I know you look at the paper, you look at the sheet, and it says the Jays are 1.5 games back. Obviously, 1.5 games back is nothing. But it's like, it's such an uphill battle from now if you include the tiebreaker. If you include the tiebreaker, Avery, it's 2.5 games, right? Technically, because you can't get in a tiebreaker with any of the two teams you're chasing.
Nope.
So it's like 2.5 games to make up in 15 left games. It's like, fuck. It really puts into reality for you, man. It really does. And I'm not to harp on it. Just that's all we like. This is raw for us right now. Like this game just happened. They just got swept. This isn't a podcast 2 days after the sweep. This is directly after the game. So it's really sad. It's really tough to watch, Abe. I don't know what else there is to say, bro.
It was just an unacceptable series for a team that has playoff aspirations.
Yeah.
It's not as much as I want to say it. It's still baseball. It's not over. It's no longer early, Mike Wilner. It is now very late, but it's not over. So as much as I want to be negative today, I'm trying to find something to look forward to.
Positive things. Let's go on to the positive things here. Actually, I just read this from Ben Nicholson Smith. The Jays have to go 11-4 and so on. To make up for this 2.5 games, and they have to hope Seattle finishes 8-8. So here we go. If Seattle finishes 8-8, the Jays have to go 10-5. If Seattle finishes 9-7, the Jays have to go 11-4. Yikes. That's not fucking good, Abe. That's not good, bro.
You put yourselves in this hole, so the team's got to find a way to dig themselves out.
They need. I keep saying it. They need a run, and they do. But let's go into some positive things. Great weather. Avery touched on this in the stream. This is the best weather on you. This is your favorite weather in the year. Is it because it's not too hot? It's not too cold.
No,
right?
as a bigger guy, like I think these 2 weeks right now fucking rock. Like it gets a little chilly at night. You toss the sweater on, but during the day it's still pretty warm. If you can go sweater and shorts, that's my ideal fit all the time.
I respect that. Another thing, me and Avery are co-workers now. I work at Owner's Box. Obviously I made that announcement on, I believe, Sunday. I made the announcement. I'm fired up for it. Obviously, I know I said I'm
so
fired
here.
up.
This was my thinking. I love when we don't talk to each other for a long time and then get on the pod and rehash things that have happened. So I was just like, fuck, like we're gonna see each other every single day. Is it gonna be tough to kind of rehash the things? And that's just not gonna fucking happen. I think we could just talk all day together.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like it's whatever. Like we just, but the thing is though, is like when we're desk mates, obviously, we don't really talk that much about Blue Jays baseball. We just shoot the shit about phantom shit. Like we just talk about random shit.
About the dumbest things you could ever talk about, probably.
Yeah. Coach is right.
Yeah, pretty much just like scrolling Twitter.
Yeah, no, it's fun. It's
simultaneously.
Fun. And obviously, if you guys support us, man, support us over at Owner's Box. Obviously, lines at lunch at 12 o'clock every single day. You can see me and Avery on there. So we'll be doing a shit ton of content now with that. And obviously, it's not going to affect Gate 14. It's not going to change anything. It's just, if anything, it's going to be more Gate 14 stuff. You're going to be seeing me and Avery do more stuff. So it's awesome for the brand.
How do you feel your first corp desk job? Sorry, this is not a corp job, but your first desk job.
It is for me though. I've never had a desk job. Like my other jobs, I've worked, like I mentioned, lumberyard. I've worked at like Red Bull, driving around the van, which is like outside, and then my other job was handing out coupons outside in my car, right? So I've never really had a job where I've just been stagnant. I don't know if that's the right word, but I've never had a job where I've like sat down and just like sat at a computer and like typed shit and like actually worked on stuff. So and made videos and actually work on some stuff I actually enjoy doing. The biggest thing I've noticed is I'm not like, you've never really had like a real job like that, Avery, so you can't really take a step back and be like, wow, I'm so fucking lucky to be doing this.
I had some shitty jobs, like,
but not as long as I like, you haven't worked like the real adult jobs where it's like you're out on the road just grinding by yourself, right? Like I've had a chance to step back and be like, all right, this is fucking awesome. Like I get to just talk sports for a living. Like, you know, it is sick.
I'm like 3.5 years into it now. And it's just like, yeah, I'm just showing up to work to do my shit every day. So
Yeah.
it's an awesome fucking job to have, dude. If I had to work in like a bank or do accounting, I'd have some mental health problems probably. So it's nice. It is awesome where the work you have to do is based on sports. Like you can always learn stuff and keep going, things like that at work instead of stuff you don't really care about for the rest of your life. So it
Yeah,
all
like
kind of
just doing a fucking Excel spreadsheet report on something random, like you don't care about or any of that type of stuff, right?
yeah. So it's a blessing again to work for. I don't take the time to step back and think about it nearly
It's also
often
so
enough.
raw to me too, right? Like
Yeah.
that's the thing. So it is a little bit different. But yeah, no, it is sick. But anyways, going back into the Jays stuff, we got to talk about Alek Manoah. Obviously the reports come out that Alek Manoah is like kind of refused the demotion, refused to go down to AAA because I guess he believed it wasn't deserving, or I don't know where he was at on it, but I'll tell you what it is. What a pathetic, swallow your pride fucking joke this dude is, dude. You're struggling. I can see it. A 90-year-old who's never watched baseball can see you're struggling on the mound out there. And the fact that you can't see it, you can't swallow your pride and say, you know what, man, I've been bad for this team. The best thing for this team, like what Kikuchi said last year, send me down to AAA or move me in the bullpen. The fact that he can't do that is embarrassing. It really is embarrassing. It goes to show you the type of person he is. I had MLB players reach out to me saying, What's going on, Alek Manoah? He was good for 1 year and he thinks he just has to say to when you get sent down and when you can't. For example, one MLB player told me, you don't earn being that type of guy where you can just refuse a demotion until you're 4 years in the league. That's what he told me. He said, once you're 4 years in the league, you can kind of get away with kind of saying stuff like that. Not after one fucking good year, your rookie year, bro. Or I guess 1.5 years into the league. It's just the fact that this guy thinks that he has the authority after having one good season is insane to me, Avery. I'll never understand it. And at some point, if you want to be a professional baseball player, swallow your fucking pride and work on the kinks and work your ass off to get back up there because it's not given to you. It's fucking earned to play professional baseball. It's not given to you.
Yeah, and one of the bad things I heard as well about the Buffalo, so he was taking up a roster spot in Buffalo, and obviously they needed someone. Apparently, the pitching staff was just taxed all the time. I saw someone tweeted that. Sorry, whoever said that. I have no idea how the Buffalo bullpen is, but him not being there hurt everyone else in Buffalo. So, I mean, him being selfish is obviously never a good thing, but it just fucks over so many more guys. Who knows? Someone gets injured there as well because they're pitching more than they should because Alek Manoah refused to get down there. Kind of showed how he went about his business with the shape he came into camp with. Right? I
Yep.
didn't think it was that bad. Looking back on it, that shape was horrendous.
And you know what, Avery? That's a
Comparatively.
good point. Looking into the camp, the shape that he came in, the shape that he came in kind of gives the vibes that it's like, I'm just this roster spot's going to be given to me. I don't have to do this other type of stuff. I'm not going to speak on his work ethic, obviously. I'm not going to say this, not going to say that. But it's like the way that he came into camp, it just looked lazy. It looked like he was expected to be that opening day guy. He honestly didn't even pitch well in spring training. Like we just completely ignore that. Like he did not pitch that well in spring training.
I
Let's
think
say
a
that.
lot of people can pitch poorly in spring training and
Well, yeah, that's
be
fine.
fine.
But that's fine. But that's like that was kind of foreshadowing what was going to happen in this season, right? I guess it kind of did, right? But like that, even that St. Louis start, remember that? We were in the cold watching that fucking shit.
Yeah.
He
I
got worked, Avery.
I'll tell the story a million times. He would practice at Florida International, where my brother went to school, and the coaches would come up to my brother, and, like my brother wasn't there to watch him throw, and he was just like, "Oh, how'd he look?" And all they said was he looks fucking massive. Like that was the only thing they caught. Nothing about his baseball ability. It's like he looks fucking massive, and they weren't trying to chirp him at that point. There was no reason for them to chirp him
Yeah.
for that. So again, the roster spot should have been given to him. Like, obviously.
Obviously,
Yeah.
but you can't go into camp expecting that shit, man.
Well,
Like you
I
still got
think
to have that mindset where it's like I'm still going to work my ass off to go to
100, no,
level up.
100%. That is the difference between someone who's like mentally sharp and there. Like Max Scherzer's not doing that shit, right? Like
Yeah.
he's not complacent with one good year. And I don't think Alec was either, but I think it really showed that he wasn't as prepared as he needed to be, and it fucked over a whole season.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's sad. Especially a guy that's like a fan favorite like that, man.
And again, him not reporting to AAA as the one fan base that like protects him, because everyone else, like you saw Hubs started this season, they just want to call him a fat fuck. Like that's all anyone wants to say about Alek Manoah. And the one fan base that obviously sticks up for him all the time because he's fantastic last year, and he just kind of pushes them to the side. He's like, yeah, I don't want to go work on myself, get better, and hopefully help the team at some point. So, I mean, he's got to find a way, make it up to the fans, because it hasn't been a good look for him. And I'm very, very confused and interested as to why he hasn't talked yet.
Me neither. And his silence is kind of
because the team kind of comes out and trashes, or the reporters come out and trash him a little bit. And if he were to come out, that's what makes me believe all of this is true. Like if they say this and it's ridiculous, if I'm a guy who that's happening to, I'm getting trashed by reporters, I would come out.
Even a tweet, like just
exactly.
Like an LOL.
He is not worried about getting on social media and tweeting shit. If it was wrong, he would definitely come out and say what's being reported is wrong. Like I'm hurt or something. Because wasn't he? I don't know if he was trying to fake an injury, but he thought he had like some quad issues, some back issues, or knee things as well. So yeah, man, just what a fucking situation it turned into. If you would have told me that Alek Manoah did this season, I probably would stop watching baseball. It'd be like, you're fucked.
This is my thing, man. It's just like you said, Avery, we defended this guy all year. We got in the mud. We made TikToks chirping MLB Network reporters. We stood up for this fucking guy.
And they were all right.
And every single dude was right. He's lazy. He's a bum. And I'm not going to say I've heard this from players, okay? But former players that I know that played with him that aren't here, let me just say that, said that he is a terrible teammate. He's just not a good teammate. And he rubs a lot of people the wrong way. And you get that vibe just from how cocky he is. Like the confidence he has. I know there's a fine line between confidence and being cocky, but the way that this dude talks is like going at Garrett Cole, like just after 1 year in the league, like that rubs people the wrong way. Even people on your team when you're doing that so like early
those
on
quotes
in your career.
Rocked when they happened because
we thought
he could back it up.
But now it's like that Step Brothers line. Now the tuxedos seem kind of fucked up. That's what it is. But that's enough about Alek Manoah, man. I mean,
I feel like I could talk about it the whole day. Like
I really could. It's a frustrating topic.
So let's keep talking. Like it is a focal point because I don't really want to talk about all those games as much. We're gonna have to. Like, what are the front office?
Yeah.
What in the fuck are the next steps?
I don't know if you can. It's very tough to mend a relationship like that when you let your team down. It's hard to go back in a locker room like that, Avery. Your team's in the middle of a fucking playoff race, and you don't want to do what it takes to get better, to get back up here and help the team make the playoffs, right? Thank God for Hyun-Jin Ryu, obviously, for stepping in there. But someone made a very good point as well. Ryu is obviously really good friends with Alek Manoah, and Alek Manoah refusing a demotion and kind of not being happy for Ryu as a teammate, as a friend, is kind of a slap in the face to Ryu as well, though. No, it kind of shows you the type of guy that he is, right? Like,
you're gonna need to explain that again.
But like, okay, this is my thought process, right? Alek Manoah thinking he's deserving to be up in the show, which obviously would mean he'd be the 5 guy, and obviously refusing a demotion and just being a terrible teammate kind of takes away from how good Ryu has been, right?
Who do you think? So Alek Manoah in his head is thinking, I'm better than someone on the starting staff right now, right?
And who's that guy? It's Ryu. That's the odd man out, right? That's the 5th man. Right? Like I might be grasping at straws with that. And if I am, I'm sorry, but it's just that's the vibe that it could give someone like Ryu, or that's a vibe that it could give the teammates. Like, oh, this guy thinks he's up here. He thinks he's better than any of us in this pitching room right now, in this bullpen, in this starting rotation. That's the vibe it gives. I don't know. Not to dwell on it, obviously. Keep going on.
So The only way things get mended, and I've said this before too, he needs to lose like 50 fucking pounds and come into
He
camp.
really does. No, like that's the
Like it
only
might
way.
not affect his baseball at all, but you got to show that you've committed to being back and helping this team. And for him, his easy one is to lose a lot of weight.
Yep, that's the only way. But that we like I said, like you said, man, we could talk about this for fucking forever. But let's go into some other things with the Toronto Blue Jays that I kind of noticed this week is the lack of fans at the stadium, man. Like back to back nights in the biggest series of the year, uh, you have the lowest attendance all season in September. And I know school's back, obviously, a lot of people, but school isn't, the students don't make up 20,000. Like, I guess the
But
kid,
think about it, it's back to work for the people who would take the kids too.
yeah,
So like we've been doing it the whole time, but if someone had say summers off, you're way more likely to just go out and get back. You don't have to worry about going to work the next day. That's even the same with me, like, and you. It's like I can't go to back-to-back Jays games, man. Like I'm gonna get home at 11. I got to go to fucking work the next day. It's gonna be
yeah.
tough. So I think that's more where it's at. People going back
And
to work.
also having to take your kids to school as well, right? Like you said. I mean, I'm not going to blame the fan. Oh, bad fan base this, bad fan base that. But in September and previous seasons, the attendance has been fine when people were in school in September. It's not a difference. Like I remember last year, September, it was fucking packed.
Yeah.
Like that's not that valid.
Dude,
Of an
I'm sure the
excuse.
weekend will be. I think the weekend will be fine.
I don't know. I think it's bobblehead day tomorrow. So
Yeah, so surely it'll be filled.
yeah, I don't know. It's weird. It seems like the boring brand of baseball is maybe taking an effect on fans. I'm not going to blame.
See, I disagree
You don't
with
think
that.
so? I don't know, man. I really do. Like, I used to not care. I used to work. Like I said, I used to work at a golf course at like 5 a.m. I'd have to wait. I'd have to be up at 4:30 a.m. I didn't care going to a Jays game and watching them hit 1,000 home runs. Like like that when I was working there in 2021, like when that season they had just hit infinity home runs when they were just an absolute wagon with Simeon and stuff like that. I didn't mind. Like, all right, I'm going to go to the Jays game today, watch a fucking trillion home runs, watch a 9-0 comeback, whatever it was against the Athletics. And you know what? If I have to go to work early, I have to go to work early. Now it's like you're going to a Blue Jays game. Lord knows that they're going to fucking score a run, let alone hit a home run. It just, I don't know. It could be a factor for sure. I don't know if it plays a massive, massive, massive factor in it, but it definitely plays at least a little bit of something. Like, it's boring. We talked about it on the stream. We're like, I've never had to watch Blue Jays games in my lifetime where I'm like, when the fuck is this going to end? Like, please make this game end.
Yeah, not in the good seasons.
Yeah, exactly. Obviously. I'm saying like the last 3 or 4 years, obviously, right? Like, I don't know. It just, yeah, this is a weird year. It's a really, really weird year. But this is a question that I've been seeing on Twitter actually a lot as of late. If the Jays don't make the playoffs this year, I don't know, and he shouldn't be taking the blame. I don't know how you don't fire Ross Atkins. 8 years with the Toronto Blue Jays, or Mark Shapiro and Ross Atkins. 8 years with Toronto Blue Jays, 0 playoff wins. How do you justify keeping that? How? To a boardroom. How do you justify keeping that to the Rogers boardroom? How do you justify keeping that to a fan base?
Well, especially they spent this much money this season, right?
Yeah, I don't know how you justify that. One and two, it's like I know it's not his fault, but someone's gonna have to fall on the sword. You can't fire the entire fucking team. You can't trade and away the entire single team. It's just he's gonna have to take the blame for this. And
yeah,
0 playoff wins in 8 years is 0 playoff wins in 8 years, no matter how you look at it.
Was Chaim Bloom
with the Red Sox?
Yeah.
I think it's within the same regime as Atkins, though, no?
Yeah. And Chaim Bloom fucking rebuilt the farm system pretty quickly after having to get rid of the best player in baseball, potentially, being forced into that. Ross had his time to rebuild it, and it has resulted in nothing but disappointment. Do I think things could have gone better? For sure. Last year, that was bullshit how that went. We all know how that happened. There should be at least a playoff win to show for that. But like, at what point are we just going to keep being the same thing?
Yeah.
So
in another aspect
I'm
of
not,
it,
I'm not
Avery,
one to think he should definitely lose his job, but if he gets canned, I'm not surprised at this point if they don't make the playoffs.
and this is another thing though, Avery. It's like this team has no future in it right now. All the guys that are good on this team, besides the Buffalo boys, I guess, are old vets. Like you can't look at a Baltimore Orioles. I know that's a crazy comparison, but they have a future and they're good right now. The Jays have never been good and then had another future coming up that could help this team and just make this team competitive for a very long period of time. It doesn't seem like there's like a light at the end of the tunnel here. It's like sign free agents or make trades or you're fucked. That's it. Especially with the pitching stuff, right?
You're right, Johnny. I just got to be a vent session today. Just get it all out. Everything that makes you frustrated.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be better.
It's
yeah,
all right though. I mean, it's all right. Listen, man. I mean, at the end of the day, dude, this sounds fucked, but it's just a sport. I know it's just a sport, but at the end of the day, it's like
sports
it's just
every time this happens. So I I had the feeling after game 2 last year, obviously, and then when the Chiefs lost that Bucks Super Bowl, I had never watched as much football and like paid attention to when they lost that Super Bowl. And two, I don't know if I'd ever been that sad in my whole entire life. Those 2 times, not no people like dying in my life. Luckily, I haven't had any like real family like really really close to me, immediate
yeah.
family pass away. But dude, I get so fucking sad when that happens. And it just makes me think sports are
We invest everything. It's everything we got, man.
we should just not watch sports. It's
yeah,
healthier.
yeah.
The way you watch hockey and the way you do other stuff is so much better for
Yeah,
your
I
mental
watch
health.
it just to watch it. I don't really have a dog in the fight. Usually, a lot of the times I'm watching it, and it's a fun way to do. Everyone fucking chirps me. Why don't you have an NFL team? Why don't you have this? I got the Toronto Blue Jays, brother. I got the Toronto Blue Jays that haven't won a World Series since 1993. Not boo hoo, feel bad for me, but it's just they've been to the playoffs. I'm not even going to count the wild card stuff. They've been to the playoff. The last time they won a playoff game, I was 19. You know, like it's like I don't know. It just I'm looking at other fan bases out here complaining like the fucking Yankees did. You've been in the ALCS every goddamn year. What are you complaining about? I
Yeah.
would kill for that shit. You know, it's just I don't know, man. It's a weird season this year, and we're only a game and a half back. I know we're only a game and a half back, but when you get kicked in the dick like that at home, event session like this is needed. That's just what it is. This is a
should
let
have
it out.
been,
We're gonna call this podcast "Let It Out," the Let It Out podcast.
or what do you call the spaces when things are bad?
Let it all out. Let it all out. Truth Circle.
Yeah.
But and in other news, though, I'm all the way back in on Blue Jays, Dad. I couldn't be more all in.
He's having other spaces right now.
He's having a space right now, and someone just texted me that Blue Jays dad's asking for you. He is a character, and I got him to admit the other day that he's a troll. Like I was like, listen, and I wish we were smart enough to be able to put that clip in here, but I tweeted it. Blue Jays dad was just like, I was like, listen, Blue Jays dad, this is a True Circle. You don't mean the stuff you tweet. And then he's like, well, he was pretty much just like, Blue Jays dad is a character that I play. Like where are you at with that, Avery? Do you think that he's full blown, or do you think he sometimes believes a lot of the shit that he says? Because some of the stuff he says, it's a lot trolly where it's like, okay, but it's like, you have to genuinely believe this to tweet. Like the WRC tweets is funny. That's just funny trolling.
I don't want to give Blue Jays dad the benefit of the doubt of being one of the funnier guys to do it on Twitter. So I'm gonna say he's not doing it totally on purpose, but he knows what'll trigger some people like me and you. So that's what he does in the meantime. Like the Kevin Biggio over Brandon Belt tweet, he meant that wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
That wasn't a troll. So I think he's like 50-50. And when people make fun of him, he can just say, oh yeah, I was joking.
Yeah. I think he pulls the classic card when you get caught where he's like, oh, I'm just joking. You know, where it's like the entire internet's body bagging you. Yeah, I'm just joking.
Yeah.
Exactly. Luckily, I haven't had to do that yet. But another guy, craziest interaction I've ever seen on Twitter was Tao of Steve. Biggest fucking idiot loser. I hope he hears this. The biggest loser on Twitter. He's worse than Mike Wilner. Actually, they're up there. They're both up there, actually. Mike Wilner's pretty bad. Saying to a guy in an argument about Vladdy, I'm sorry your dad didn't hug you when you were growing up. Like, what? Who says that in an argument? And then the guy says, my dad actually died 13 years ago. And then Tao Steve, like the little fucking rat weasel he is, decided to delete the tweet and just not acknowledge that he pretty much made fun of someone's dead father. Crazy. And even the thing that I don't understand is like, if we ever get caught up in something like that where I chirp someone and it's like fucked up, I'll acknowledge it. The thing is, you have to own up to the shit that you do. Just deleting it from the internet, even though there's screenshots that exist, is kind of crazy though. No, it's like, have a spine, dude.
Yeah, that's just a weird one to get into because he didn't want that to happen, I hope.
But it's just a weird, you just never bring family into chirps. Like, you never say something like, I'm sorry your dad didn't hug you, or just weird shit like that, man. It's like, I mean, there's always the potential that someone's
tell me if you've heard this before, but weird people do weird shit.
Okay, I've heard that before. I've definitely heard that before. Yeah.
So, I mean,
his name is Tal of Steven. He's a grown man.
He's a grown man behind an account that doesn't have his name or his face.
Exactly.
So
that's the best way
able to say spineless, gutless things are pretty easy, actually.
Yeah, that's a good point. But another thing, a positive from the weekend or from this week, is just YJ's has been putting on a singing clinic on Twitter, and I don't know where this stuff orchestrated from.
It had to have been them because they start everything.
They start everything. But the YJ's tweets he's just incredible. He really is. And tonight he brought out instruments for it. He was playing instruments while doing it. It was a masterclass from our guy. And I tapped in a little bit too. I'll be honest. I think I did 4 songs in 2 nights. Karaoke makes it lightens the mood a little bit on Blue Jays Twitter, you know?
Yeah. We needed something to kind of get us through this week. Do we have to go through game by game?
No, I don't want to. Let's just go to listener questions. Jays got swept. All right, everyone. Jays got swept.
They fucking sucked. Every single person.
And the thing is, every game was pretty much the same. Dog walk, end the stream early. 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 That was it. Never had a chance in any of those fucking games. John Schneider never had a chance managing wise. Just been an absolute clown. The Trevor Richards stuff, putting Trevor Richards in games like tonight instead of Jordan Hicks, who's a guy you traded for to be good in late innings in a close game, whatever. Puts Trevor Richards there. Trevor Richards gets his dick shoved in. The Silver Fox is dead, Avery. The Silver Fox is dead. Yeah. He's done.
His injury ruined his season. So nothing we can do about that. All right, listener questions. We got a lot of them, so we'll kind of dive into.
Actually, wait a second here before we go into that. We got to talk about Bubba Biggio. He's been the only bright spot right now of this team, right? He's hitting 333 in his last 7 with a 400 OBP and a 619 slugging percentage. It's time to respect Bubba Biggio, folks. It's time to respect the bad man. It's time to respect him. I'm back in.
I'm starting to like him more and more every day. I think I said this on the last podcast as well. He seems like a good dude. Like,
just a team guy, a locker room guy. Everyone loves him.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, let's go to listener questions though. That's all. I didn't want to talk about the Blue Jays right now. I really don't.
All right. Is it better to get into the playoffs and get swept or just miss them completely?
Easiest question ever. Get into the playoffs. I just want extra ball. I just want extra ball.
Okay,
I do.
So this team isn't winning a World Series. We don't hit enough home runs. Just
breaking news. Yeah, this team is not winning a World Series. I'm ready to admit it now, Avery. This team is not winning a World Series. Nope.
So, do you want more change within the organization quicker, or are you okay with another year of the same shit next year? Is where I'm kind of at.
Will it be another year of the same shit though? If they get swept in the playoffs, that's 8 years still no playoff wins. Doesn't matter to Rogers if you get into the playoffs.
I'm more thinking they keep Ross, they keep Mark Shapiro, they keep John Schneider. That because John Schneider's has the best winning percentage of any Blue Jays manager ever, right?
Yeah.
Shortest sample size still, but as someone who got the team into the playoffs 2 years in a row, after you come in halfway through a season, how can you not bring that guy back?
I
And how
so
can
where are
you
you
not?
at? What's your answer to that question?
I'd rather them not miss the play or not make the playoffs
Really?
instead of just getting in the playoffs and getting swept again. I want
But you're an advocate for extra ball though.
no,
You're one of the guys that wants more ball.
I know, and I'm starting to think I want some change. Like I need the Blue Jays in the playoffs, man. Like 100%. That's all I want. But if they go in there and get swept, we don't see change at all.
Okay.
So I don't. I think if they make it in, they can fucking win a baseball game. But if they end up getting embarrassingly swept like last season, it's all for naught again, and it's like okay, whatever.
Yeah. It's a good point, I guess. I don't know. Yeah,
We have
it's a good answer.
multiple questions. Is the season over?
I'm half in the door of it being over. I'm half. 2.5 games back right now, technically. Technically, 2.5 back.
What are the what does Johnny's algorithm say the Jays' chances are of getting
It's
in the
down to
playoffs?
38%.
The actual one or Johnny's algorithm?
Johnny's algorithm,
30,
38%.
38%. Okay.
You sweep Boston this weekend, I'm back in, by the way. I just want to make that, I just want to make that clear. You sweep Boston this weekend, I'm back in.
And that's the beautiful thing about baseball is you fucking play again tomorrow. I did say on stream today, I wish we had an off day today.
I do too. I just need a break from ball. I need a break from ball, but tomorrow's jock night, so I'm back in. That's the only game I'll go to for the rest of the year until they prove otherwise and they make me want to go to a game. That's where I'm at with it.
Yeah, 4 straight games getting your dicks kicked in isn't always good.
Yeah.
Okay. An NL team you wish to see succeed this postseason.
A team, obviously, a team I have a lot of friends on.
Yeah, I'm there too. It's the only one I want.
The Phillies,
The
right?
Philadelphia Phillies.
Yeah, Bryson's one of my best friends. Obviously, he's on a heater. I mean, he's the best ever to do. He's just making catches, hitting 300. Jays drafted Manoah in front of him, and I'll still be mad to this day about that. But
and Corbin Carroll.
And Corbin Carroll too. But yeah, for me, it's the Phillies. I want to see the Phillies be good, man. I want to see Bryson in the playoffs. I want to see Schwarber go crazy. I
just think about it. Every day in spring training, we played COD with Kyle Schwarber and Bryson. I know obviously Bryson's your boy, but if we might help be the reason they win the World Series. Like we could almost get rings because we were a crucial part into preparing them for a season that was very important.
Yeah, exactly. So that's for me, it's the Phillies, and for obviously for you.
Yeah, I want the Phillies to do well, and maybe even, I kind of like the D-backs too. I don't know where they are in the playoff race. I know they're in that clump of teams that are kind of shit. Oh my god, holy fuck. Okay, we'll go to there's some Alex Anthopoulos talk here.
Okay.
Does Alex Anthopoulos making the Braves a super team make the whole Blue Jays situation worse?
I don't think it does. And I saw a lot of points made about this. So Alex Anthopoulos obviously went to the Dodgers before. And clearly when he was on the Dodgers, he probably learned something crazy because that team is just a breeding factory of absolute freaks. He learned a lot there, I'm assuming. And I don't think he would be where he is at now if he didn't go to the LA Dodgers. I really don't. And obviously the Braves use a lot of an analytical approach, but with Tyler Matzek and like Strider and all these guys I've talked to about him, like on the podcast and even off record, he's very hands-on in that organization. I know people are probably like Alex Anthopoulos this, Alex Anthopoulos that, but he's very hands-on. Like he's not just letting the analytical nerds run this team. He runs the team. It's not like he's just having them full-blown say whatever the fuck they want. Like he's doing a lot of this stuff. So I do think things would be different here in Toronto if he was still here. I do think this team would be better, and like Bo Bichette and Vladdy would be on these kind of team-friendly deals, which would allow him to sign a lot of these guys or make a lot of these Matt Olson type-esque trades and the Murphy trades. But I want to say no, but my heart's telling me yes, man. I love AA, man. I'll never forget that 2015 20.
Exactly. Our fondest memories of Blue Jays baseball
He did it. It's because of him, right?
Quite literally that.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I'm there with you. I never think about it in the moment, but when it gets brought up, when they win, 8 straight division titles, something stupid like that, definitely makes you think about it. Because of the series and the lack of offense, John Schneider and Guillermo, do you think they're gone next year?
I think Guillermo's 100% gone, especially with that,
Guillermo is gone for sure.
especially with the Buffalo boys having so much success in the major leagues right off the bat. I think it's a testament to how good the AAA hitting coach is. I really do. I think they're going to promote from within and call him up. Obviously, I mean the proof's in the pudding with the numbers these guys have put up, right, Abe? It's like how can you not do that, right? And all the guys love him. I mean, Schneider and Ernie have told me nothing but good things about him. Luplo loved him, and clearly he knows what he's doing. He turned no respect. He turned Ernie Clement, who, like I said, was DFA'd by the A's, into a 1,000 OPS hitter in the major leagues. He went 2 for 4 again 2 days ago. Ernie, like it's what he's teaching, what he's preaching is clearly working. Avery.
Yeah, I agree. And when all the even casual fans know the hitting coach's name, I'll say it. It's probably not a good thing for the hitting coach.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Would you rather watch the A's for the rest of the year or the Toronto Blue Jays?
The Blue Jays, obviously. Come on, bro.
It was the question that was asked.
Yeah, the Blue
I mean,
Jays.
I would love Zach Geloff on the Blue Jays at some point. Ruiz just not being able to catch any baseballs in center field or
and
hit.
another thing, shout out Blake Murphy. He DM'd me this. The Toronto Blue Jays are the worst in baseball, slugging a 375. So slugging 375 on middle fastballs. You heard that correctly. The Toronto Blue Jays are only ahead of the Oakland Athletics in slugging percentage on middle pitches, down the dick, down the cock, as the people say. They have the 58th of 65 hitters to see of those. Chapman is 63rd in baseball out of 65 in that. And I don't know what that stat is, but I don't know what that's saying.
I think
Whatever.
it's of like qualified hitters or who have seen more than 100 middle fastballs.
Sorry, yes, that's what he said. Sorry, I didn't read what he said correctly. He is 63rd out of 65 qualified hitters on middle pitches and slugging percentage. Sorry, everyone, my dumb brain couldn't read that fast enough. But yes, that's insane.
Oh, all right. Someone asked if I also plan on dying young, like Johnny said. Yeah, I still got some life to live. I thought I wanted to die young for sure. Like high school days, it's like I'll just go to college, and then after that, like I'll live my best life. But I've enjoyed life much more out of college than I have when I was in it. So I think I'll keep doing this life thing for a while, hopefully.
Yeah.
Someone says I'm in the clear for being late to work, as Kitchener is far as fuck from where I live, which is the truth. Nice hour drive.
I'm like 35 minutes away.
Yeah. Someone asked, when will we ever have joy again?
Once that last pitch is thrown this year and we've turned the page.
Coach says
the week after.
Coach says as soon as you take the uniform off, you got to clear it, right?
Yep,
so
exactly.
Once the Luplo jersey is off after the last game, I think that
last pod's gonna be a banger. Whenever it is, it's just gonna be a banger. And the Gate 14 awards. There's so much shit to talk about from this year in those Gate 14 awards.
I feel like way funnier shit happened last year, though.
Oh, for sure. The Zim bomb. Like, yeah, a lot of funny shit happened for sure.
And the sex in the stadium.
Yeah, there is a lot of that.
I think
the Buck Martinez, and he started having sex clip. You know that's making the fucking cut. That's for goddamn sure.
Yep. Oh man. Do you think the Jays have the trade capital to take a shot at Trout next year if he requests a trade?
I think they do. I mean, to compete with other teams in that? No, I don't think they do. But there is definitely an avenue, or Ralvis, or Ricky Tiedemann, Barger. Like but you'd have to just dump the farm system. Like you would have the worst farm system to ever walk this planet for that trade ever.
Yep, and it might be the last ditch effort. For Ross if he's there.
Yeah.
I don't think they have the capital to get it done, because having good trade capital means you still have some things intact, hopefully by the end of it, and they just wouldn't. Would you rather not win a World Series for the next 5 years or sign Matt Chapman to a 5-year deal?
Not win a World Series next 5 years. I can't deal with Chappie anymore. I can't. His at-bats today were even worse. Just when I thought they couldn't get any worse, they get worse. He's so bad. He's so bad.
I mean,
Bat boy MVP.
yeah, when they brought it up today that he still leads the team and wins above replacement,
That's sad.
it is very sad because I would love to know how many wins he had in the Linsanity month.
Two.
There it is. Like 2/3 of his wins came in 1 month, and he's accumulated just one over the rest of it, which is more than what Vladdy's accumulated over the whole year.
Vladdy's at 0.4 now. Congrats, Vladdy. Atta boy.
Replacement level player. Yeah, I think that's going to be it here for some listener questions.
Big weekend coming up though, Wave. I mean, I got Morgan Wallen Saturday. You got date night tomorrow. We won't say what we're doing tomorrow. Obviously, I don't want to. Whatever.
Well, we'll be back together.
Yeah,
I think on date
tomorrow.
Night. Date night is just never. It's never going to be low. It's just going to be hanging out with the boys all the time.
Yeah, which is fine. I'm sure she's fine with that.
Oh yeah,
but no, it's.
Are you excited for Morgan Wallen?
I'm excited for Morgan Wallen. I really am.
I have like a little bit FOMO for that one because it's probably like the only country artist I listen to
religiously.
Like not religiously, but like the only one where I kind of know more shit than I think I know.
Oh, for sure.
So I'd know pretty much any song he'd play there. And just seeing everyone there tonight, everyone's going to be there tomorrow. Just anyone who you have on Instagram is going to be at a Morgan Wallen show in the next 2 nights. But I'm excited for the boys to go. I'm glad that you got to go. At least one of us is there.
And shout out to the listener, though. I'm going to give a shout out to the name, obviously, man. Where is it? I get so many fucking DMs. Where is it?
That
Charlie.
guy knows who he is.
Yeah. Shout out Charlie, man. I mean, DMing me, giving me such a good deal on the ticket. I know it's one ticket, obviously doesn't help you that much, but I do appreciate you, man. And I've got a couple of listeners reach out for tickets if I wanted tickets and stuff like that. So it means the world, and obviously I'm very, very lucky for that. And I love you guys, man. And let's go into the series preview this weekend. Pitching matchups are Barrios versus Bello, Chris Sale versus Bassett, Ryu versus Pivetta. Jays get swept. I'm just gonna say, that's all
yeah.
I'm
what the fuck?
That's all
the pitching matchups, like those guys aren't crazy good, but Brian Bayo probably beats the Blue Jays handily.
Yeah, Chris Sale's been so ass. Pavetta's fucking terrible. The Red Sox are gonna take 2 out of 3. Come on.
Yeah, and if it's 2 out of 3, we have an it's over episode.
Yeah, if it's 2 out of 3, it's officially it's dead in the water. Dead as fuck. Yeah. Queen Elizabeth, shout out Izzy. Dead as shit. That's how dead it is. But just don't let this is kind of like the summer's winding down. I mean, we're getting into the fall now, so just enjoy what we got going here the next couple of weeks. Go to Morgan Wallen if you can, Friday, Saturday. If you don't want to spend $900, I completely understand. Love you guys, man.
Sorry that you had to go through this.
But I hate to say it, but this is going to be sad for listeners. There's about 5 Gate 14 episodes left in this season. Wow. I shouldn't have said that. That's depressing.
Yeah. Fuck off, man.
That's like, so there's 15 games left. So that's 2 weeks.
This year has gone by so quick.
It really has.
Just think about when we were in St. Louis. That feels like yesterday.
It really doesn't feel that long ago. It really doesn't. Abe.
No.
And that was in April. Like April was so long ago.
Like I remember doing the Kikuchi streams for spring training in my room.
Yeah. It's wild.
Wasn't that long ago.
What a ride it's been. Second full year with Gate 14. And like I said, 5, hopefully 6 more episodes left, man. Love you guys, man. Gate 14 forever. And
little of a shorter one today, but that's what happens when they play like shit.
That's what happens when they play like shit. We just kind of let it all out. So love you guys, man. Let's have ourselves a weekend, and we will chat Sunday, hopefully with JR on the board. Love you guys.